Hello and welcome to In Business Talks 2, a podcast about people who work together as a couple. Learn the secrets of business partnerships, the benefits and pitfalls of working together, be it husband and wife, father and son, mother and daughter, friends, relatives or any other combinations of business partnerships. As well as speaking with other couples, we'll let you know of any useful business apps and websites out there that our members have come across and shared with us in our regular weekly online meetings.
We're your hosts, Tracy, Annie and Earl, founders of In Business, a networking and business support community. We host online and face-to-face events and we'd love to meet you, so why not come along? The link to book is in the show notes. This week's guests are Claire and Anthony Ackers. Claire is an authenticity and sales mindset coach. She helps values-led entrepreneurs and business owners to have massive business breakthroughs. Ant is an energetic business coach and outdoor expedition leader who helps adventurers to navigate through the fog and to the life of intent that makes them want to leap out of bed in the morning. So without further ado, let's crack on with In Business Talks 2. So welcome to our In Business Talks 2 podcast today. We have Anthony and Claire Ackers of Ackers Partners Limited. Have I said that right?
You have, yes.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome guys, good to have you both with us.
Hi, nice to be here.
Good.
So I suppose we should start by asking you the question, tell us a little bit about what you do, what's your business?
Because I do believe that you've both got your own businesses as well as one that you run together, haven't you?
Yeah, so I'll jump in if that's all right with you, Ant. Mm-hmm. We've had to be separated for the purpose of this recording. We're not going to fall out, I promise. I'm sure we'll get into the background and the history of Ackers Partners and why it's called that and so on. But our setup at the moment is that Ackers Partners Limited is our kind of legal entity, and then we both have individual brands within that company. So mine is claireackers.com. And I am a authenticity and sales mindset coach. So I work with values-led entrepreneurs, business owners, founders to help them have the mindset breakthroughs that they need to have to grow impactful businesses.
Excellent.
Cool.
How about you, Ant?
So I'm Ant, and I run the brand Mountain Boardroom, where again it's coaching, business coaching, and I kind of work with very small businesses, micro businesses, almost single owner. Again, do one-to-one coaching, work on strategy, motivation, that sort of thing. But the difference is that I actually do it on the hill or mountain.
Right.
Yes. So like literally on a mountain, hence the name Mountain Boardroom. I just kind of use the outdoors really, just sort of like bring the coach lessons home a little bit, to kind of use that to get people in a safe space, to use all the meditative and natural benefits of it as well. So yeah, I've been going for about 2 months so far on that brand, and it's working a lot better than I thought it would do.
Cool. Sounds good.
Although you won't want to be out on a day like this, it's horrible today.
Well, you say that. I've actually got a networking event tomorrow morning in the middle of a storm. But yeah. I think it's a perfect metaphor though sometimes for business, because we can't always operate in sunny times, can we? Sometimes we've got to go out in the rain. So yeah.
That could be an interesting conversational walk then tomorrow.
Yeah, if we can hear each other through the wind.
Yeah, cool.
Brilliant. So yeah, tell us about the business that you run together.
Sorry, you're going to need to edit this hideously. Do you mean Ackers or how we got together? Because we don't really run a business together at the moment per se.
Right, that's fine. Okay, well, we'll go back to question one then. Tell us how you started your business together then, sort of.
So Ackers was my idea, and Ackers comes from the Latin phrase "apposse Ackers," which is from possibility into reality, and that's my kind of philosophy of life, really. And it was one of those brilliant ideas when I was on mat leave with our middle child, Teddy, in 2015, and it was the idea of, hey, wouldn't it be brilliant if we had this flexibility? Because I was working in recruitment at the time, and it's not very well known for its family-friendly policies or work hours. So I decided to set up this business, which is a technology recruitment company, Ackers, and I ran it from a shed quarters in our back garden for a little while. And then a few years later, 18 months later, we had the epiphany, hey, wouldn't it be great if we worked together? Ant, I'll let you come into the story here.
Who had that epiphany? Whose idea was that then?
Well, to be fair, I think Claire had been sort of like hinting at it for some time, but I had a corporate job. I was moving up the corporate ladder. I was managing quite a big team at the time.
And all the nice corporate benefits.
All the nice corporate, all the nice benefits.
They've gone out the window.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. I was working at least an hour away each way in the commute, so I'd leave the house at 7 a.m, come back at 7 p.m. I wouldn't see the kids. And Claire was ultimately running the business, doing all the home stuff as well. And honestly, she was earning more money than me as well in that time.
In 3 days.
In 3 days, so it didn't seem to make any sense for me to be so unavailable for this job, while Claire was doing so well. And I think it was kind of billed as an opportunity to live life on our own terms, to actually introduce the flexibility into our lives. But also, acknowledge the fact that Claire was actually, at the time, a lot more successful than I was, and she was earning the money. So actually shift our lives, our relationship, and our family to fit that mold.
Yeah.
Did you say, Claire?
Yeah. So we decided to pool our resources, and it was so exciting, wasn't it? Having this shared family vision. I think that everything that we earned, all the work that we did, was for us and our family, and building the kind of entrepreneurial dream in the future. I don't know if you want me to start to speak about what the reality of that was. Just
Well, my next question was going to be actually,
how does family...
when you decided, was it a? How did you feel about that? Were you excited? Were you a bit worried? And when you were deciding to give up your corporate life and join Claire, what were the feelings behind it? Were you sort of apprehensive? Do you think, am I doing the right thing? What was going through your mind at the time?
Honestly, I think with hindsight, this might be one of the issues we had later on. Was I wouldn't say I was ambivalent towards it. I was excited about the opportunity to work with Claire, but I'm not sure I really knew what it meant at that time. Because obviously my world was all corporate. You go to work, you do your job, you go home, you forget about it. All right, I was doing work in the evenings, but not it wasn't, life didn't depend on me doing work in the evenings. It's my choice to do that. So I hate to use the word ambivalent. But it's almost like an ambivalence towards it. It's like, it sounds like a good idea. Let's do that. And it took. I think when the reality hit home, that's probably when I started learning what it actually meant.
Yeah,
it's a bit different running a business, isn't it, than working for somebody
else.
For
a corporate, it's a bit of a shock. Sorry, I'm just moving. It's a bit of a culture shock as well, isn't it? When you're suddenly on your own from being with a group of people, to be suddenly sat in your bedroom or wherever that you've converted to an office, and suddenly it's you. The pressure's on a bit more, isn't it? You've not got that regular income, have you? You've not got that regular salary. It's all down to you.
I think we were gloriously naive, but it was kind of typical of our relationship because we met later in life. I'd been married before, hadn't been in a serious relationship before, and we moved really, really quickly. I mean, within a year, we were engaged and pregnant. So actually taking risk and just going for it was kind of typical of our relationship, isn't it? And we thought, yes, this is brilliant. We stepped into it, and yeah, absolutely. We were naive and it was a shock, and we had to have a lot of serious conversations quite quickly about how we were actually going to make this work. But I think that's part and parcel of being an entrepreneur. You've got to take risks and you've got to back yourself, and you've got to find a way through. And you know what? It is more fun doing that with your husband by your side because you've always got somebody in your corner.
Yeah, definitely. So how does it fit in now with your family life? I assume that family life is looking a lot better and answer around a little bit more.
It's insane. So we have managed to have another child alongside working together, which I guess is a big tick in the pro side of things, that we still like each other enough to do that. But 3 kids, it's absolutely bonkers. All the paraphernalia that goes alongside with that, all the clubs, all the juggling, all the you put that post on LinkedIn yesterday, didn't you, Ant, about having to drop everything because our childcare fell through. And we're really lucky to have no boss and be able to do that. But these are definitely the hectic years with 3 kids. Well, our eldest is 12, youngest is 2.5.
Yeah,
there's a lot of juggling. There's a lot of spreadsheets and color-coded charts in our house.
Yeah, it's your turn to do this. It's your turn to do that. Is it?
So you sound like you're very well organised.
got to be. It would be insane.
Yeah, I think it had to be. It took a long time to transition as well, because it wasn't just a transition for us working together. Obviously, being the sort of like the traditional provider, in the family and going to work, I kind of had to transition to that support of doing the kids stuff, doing the admin, and all that mental load that comes with that, which Claire had been doing for years. And we had so many rows about it, didn't we? Really, about how I was trying my best to do it all, but I was still leaving things on Claire to do.
Yeah.
And I think it took probably a good 3 or 4 years, isn't it, to settle into some sort of actual routine.
Settle in sort of thing. Yeah.
It's been really interesting looking at how we've challenged certain family members' perceptions about what each other's roles should be, and how that's kind of landed with us. We've had lots of conversations about, well, why should you do that? And it's been an interesting one to navigate.
And what's your vision then for your business? Then what is it you're looking to do? Are you looking to become a global enterprise? Are you looking to employ lots of people, or are you going to try and is it to be just a lifestyle business where it earns you enough money to have a good lifestyle and do what you want to do? Is that what you're looking to do? What is it that you want to do?
Shall I go first on this one? I'm
a
bit more established. So, honestly, the past couple of years has just been hanging on. COVID's been really tough. We've been scrambling to pivot and to find a way through and just work with, kind of feel our way through it, and almost on a day by day basis. Sometimes, I'm in a really good place now, and this year I'm really ambitious and looking to absolutely
smash it,
nail it.
Yeah, absolutely. And long term, our vision together is we want to move to the Lake District and combine our two skill sets and have retreats where people can, go and climb mountains at dawn and set their intentions, and then come and do value setting stuff around the fire with me. And oh gosh, that'd be so wonderful for our family to get to that.
Sounds amazing.
That's the long term vision.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds like you're on the right path to get
and
there.
you both agree on the vision there. I mean, I assume you sat down at some point and said, where do we want to take this? What are we going to do? Obviously, you've thought about it. Was that a joint effort, or how did that come about? Did you just have a sit down and chat?
It was, and I guess being sort of coaches ourselves, we do try and hold each other to account, and then set goals together and that sort of thing. And actually, the work I did in Mountain Boardroom was actually born out of that. The fact that we went for walks together.
Hang on a minute. Tell Tracy and Ian about our second date. What you did for our second date.
It sounds interesting.
There's some breadcrumbs about how this all happened.
Second date. I mean, to be fair, I hope you don't mind me saying this, Claire. I think after the first date we were both a bit unsure, weren't we? About whether it's going to carry on. Yeah. I said, what the hey? We talked about how we both love walking, so I sent Claire an email with a set of coordinates, and that was it, saying, second date, let's meet here. And I took her for a walk up onto Bleaklow in the Peak District, which obviously the name very much suits the terrain that's up there.
Bleak.
And took her to see a plane crash. So yeah,
plane crash.
It worked.
Was that all the excitement you needed then, Claire? Was that tipped you over the edge? Did that work?
It was very rugged and epic.
but actually,
memorable.
Yeah, totally.
But actually, thinking about it now, it's a perfect setting, wasn't it? It was a time where we had time to be able to sort of like talk together and get deeper. Which is why it works for the coaching as well. It allows us to sort of go deep on things and then walk away again. And then have more time to think about it. And it's really it was, with hindsight, it was really good for that sort of like conversation, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think if you'd given me coordinates, I wouldn't have had a clue how to get there. So
we'd never have met. We'd never have met. So luckily you're a good map reader, which apparently goes against the grain. Aren't males supposed to be far better at reading maps than females, or is that just me being old-fashioned male?
Is
that the word? It's like, oh God,
he's thinking how brave he can be here.
Well, I don't think that's a trend necessarily, but I do read maps a lot better than Claire does. So yeah,
it's true. I'll hold my hands up to that. I'm rubbish.
But to be fair, I have been professionally trained. Claire hasn't. So
all right.
So do you have different roles as well as obviously the roles that you've got within your own businesses? Do you sort of do Ant's admin and you do the marketing, or do you just both kind of do your own separate things?
You want me to go on that one?
Yeah,
Does
you
that
go
make
for it.
sense? do you know what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah.
I don't need to do
Yeah.
my own admin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a bit of context. When we first started in the business with Claire, we were both working in one company in the Desay Search, the
Yeah.
recruitment company.
Yeah.
And the intention was always for me to go in to do the operational side, sort of
Yeah.
like do the books, the behind the scenes admin, make sure invoices went out on time, make sure things were posted and that sort of thing. That didn't quite work, but I did take on a lot of that operational responsibility. I'd say where we're at now is kind of almost like a legacy from that, where if Claire needs something doing, in terms of IT support, I'm always on it. If books are in my domain, making sure bills are paid, invoicing is in my domain, but Claire, I'm kind of like the support for Claire's business, but also running my own at the same time. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Claire puts together all her own material and branding and that sort of thing, but I'll get involved sometimes in the just checking it over, making sure all the things in the back end are working properly.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm very much the show pony of the duo, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. I think we settled on a description after a lot of trial and error of trying to try different combinations of I come up with the ideas and you mop up my crazy.
Yeah. we still do, yeah, we still do that. The interesting thing is that it'd be nice for me. Obviously, it'd be nice to say, actually, Claire, you go and do my sales and marketing work. But I think when you're running your own brands, you need to be invested in that brand.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard to hand that to somebody else and not be involved in it at all. I need to do the sales and marketing for my brand because that's me. It's who I am. So I think some things are really easy to sort of like delegate to someone else, like Claire, the books and stuff. You have no interest in that. It doesn't help you to do that. I do it all.
Yeah.
But when it's something that's just part of your personal brand almost, you've got to do it yourself. It's very hard to delegate it.
I think that's what you find with couples as well. That they fall into like two camps. You get the one half that does like the sort of like the admin and the operational side of things, and the other tends to do the sales and the marketing and the creativity bit. We've noticed that a lot, haven't we, with couples that we've had chats with. It does seem, and it seems to work quite well. It obviously works, doesn't it? Obviously, people find their natural bent or whatever, whatever they want to do, So which is interesting, interesting.
Yeah. So I know you said earlier on, Claire, about the reality of being. You touched on it, didn't you? The reality of actually, a few months down the line of being in business together. You said at first you thought it was going to be this all sunshine and roses, I suppose, and that's kind of, well, not perhaps from the look on your face, perhaps not quite how you imagine how it went to begin with.
Yeah, absolutely. It was.
Do you think it was the COVID that affected your business in that way? Do you think it was?
Well, this is a really interesting part of the journey on the entrepreneur's evolution. So when I joined the business, I said we were very naive. We didn't appreciate how much he hated recruitment and therefore would resist doing it at every opportunity. And when
Had you not had that conversation?
Well, he wasn't supposed to be doing the recruitment bit. He was supposed to be doing the ops bit. But we had a team that wasn't quite up to scratch, and so you fell into doing a role that you weren't in love with, didn't you?
Yeah.
And when I set up the recruitment company, it was with a very conscious commercial thought, i.e., I never wanted to devote my best years of my career to the recruitment industry, but it was a conscious thought of, right, how can I make the most money working the fewest hours so I can be home with the kids? So honestly, hand on heart, we were never, ever in love with that business. So it caused a lot of tension because neither of us particularly wanted to be there. We were growing the team. We'd invested in coaches and all the kind of business courses, the e-myth about how to grow your business. And we were trying to grow it along this cookie cutter approach. And it wasn't working. We were both unhappy. We were both not working in our zone of genius. And it did cause a lot of tension between us because, we were both unhappy. And I ended up going back to work 2 weeks after our youngest daughter was born. I remember being on the phone to clients whilst breastfeeding, and it was, I'm so impressed that I was able to to have that flexibility to do that. You know, we used to just take the baby to the office. But it just led to this epiphany, ironically, on a walk around Haworth, wasn't it? We went up to Haworth, Top Withens for a walk, and I just said, we can't do this. You know, if we're going to devote our best career years, it's got to be in something we both love.
Yeah.
And that led us to getting rid of the staff, if I can say it that plainly, because it wasn't fair on anybody. And us going, right, okay, this might be not through any conventional wisdom, but we're going to step away from this financially successful business and just throw our hearts and soul into doing something we love. And that's the business model that we have today. I don't know if that answers your question or if I've gone completely off on a tangent.
No, that's good. No, that's good. I mean, and do you find that working together now, has that strengthened your relationship? What impact has that had on your actual relationship as a married couple? Has that strengthened it, or are you at loggerheads all the time? What, obviously, you don't have to answer that one. But,
do you agree all the time?
But you know, how do you agree on things, and how do you get over any issues that you might have?
Go on, Ant, you can jump in on this one.
I'd say it's got its, typical on the fence answer. It's got its advantages and disadvantages. One big advantage is, and me and Claire said this a few times, we speak with, we've got our circles of friends, the school run people, that sort of thing. We work, we enjoy spending time with, but it's very hard to speak to them on a certain level when you're a business owner and they're working. And I think as a married couple as well, it must be difficult if like one person's running the business and one person is in the corporate world, because actually you can't have that conversation. One thing we've got the benefit of, we know where we're at. We know when the highs are, when the lows are. We know what it's like to say, actually, we're actually rich, but at the same time, we can't afford to go for coffee today. It's one of those, one of those things. So yeah, it strengthens it because we're both experiencing life almost like not through the same eyes, but looking at the same situation through the same eyes all the time.
Yeah, it's an unparalleled amount of empathy, isn't it? Having somebody by your side who you love, but also you're going through the same challenges together. But every win is for us and our family.
Yeah.
The end goal is the same.
And that gets you through a lot because I always say that being an entrepreneur is like jumping off a cliff and trying to grow wings on your way down. You just winging it, aren't you? Making it up some days.
Yeah, you do. Definitely.
Trying to stay one step ahead of every challenge, and having your spouse flapping wings beside you when you're trying to grow wings on your way down it's like nothing else really.
But I guess on the counterpoint though is that one thing we do miss, I think, is you say we're both flapping wings at the same time. I guess when you're not in the same business together, it'd be nice for someone to be flapping wings wildly and the other person to be gliding along okay. We haven't got that. We need to. We're either both flapping or we're both gliding. There's no sort of like.
There's no between.
We
carry each other all the time, but one can't carry the other. That makes sense.
There's no safety net. It's all on us, and that's interesting sometimes.
That's the fun of running your own business.
Is it fun? Yeah, it was fun.
Most days.
Most days.
It is.
Do you find any sort of like in your downtime then? Do you sort of you obviously work throughout the day, and then at 5 o'clock do you say, right, that's it, we're not going to talk about work anymore, we're going to switch off the evenings hours with the kids, whatever? Or do you tend to have conversations about the business as well? How does it work? Do you have switch off, or does it creep in? Or
boundaries, one of my favorite topics.
I'd say the reality is that because obviously I work outdoors quite a lot. Sometimes we can go almost like a whole week, can't we, without seeing each other? Honestly, because we've got our patterns as well. So most days, Claire will finish a lot later than me. I'll do the school runs on the sort of the midweek days, which means I get home with the kids. I'm trying to feed 3 kids, get them all sorted to activities. Claire's trying to, she's at work trying to sort of like make things happen there. And by the time we both come home, we don't really have much of a handover, do it? It's just like literally flop down. That's it.
Yeah. We're on different cycles as well. So I'm an early bird and you're a bit of a night owl, aren't you? Which is interesting. So I get up at 6. Well, I get up at 5:30 and then start journaling. So that by the time I actually get to the work at 7:30, 8, I've already done a couple of hours of work. So by the time I finish in the evening, I'm done. Like I actively refuse to talk about work, don't I? Whereas you are quite happy to potter around in the evening, catch up on bits and do things. But we have recently implemented weekly lunch dates. Because trying to finish a sentence in our house is absolutely impossible because you just get interrupted by a child. So we've been going out for lunch dates, haven't we? And just kind of absolutely talking about work, but also just, remembering they were married as well, which seems to be working okay.
Giving time to yourselves, which is what you need sometimes, isn't it? Yeah.
We're going on a date on Saturday.
Lovely.
Absolutely, though. This is flexibility, isn't it? Running the business, you can say actually we're at work now, we've got boundaries, and we're at home, but actually we're in a situation like Claire said, that because of our hectic schedule, we work all day, we get home, we're there for the kids, we're chatted at the end of it. That's it.
Yeah.
But actually, if our best energy is during the day, then let's use some of that energy for ourselves. That's what we're doing now. We're starting to say, let's bring the best of us when we're actually both here, rather than wait till the end of the day when we're both just need to switch off and eat chocolate in front of the telly.
just chill. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what's the best thing about what you do then?
What's the best thing about working together? How's that? What's the best thing about working together? Oh, I've got a good question after this one as well, guys, which I've just thought of.
So I think it is sometimes when we get ideas, there's someone there straight away to bounce it off. Or even if I've got a problem, I've got an issue, or I don't know how I'm going to do this, there's someone there that you know and you trust to be able to run it by. And as well as I do, Claire, sometimes sometimes all you need is someone to stand there, or I used to call it the cardboard analyst, just to sort of talk to, or talk at almost.
Is that what you were doing the other day when I was drawing that thing on the floor?
Yeah. did it work? Did it work? Exactly, yeah. But ultimately, we know each other so well that we can ask the right questions as well. To be honest, it's taken a long time for us, or for me especially, to get to the point where I know the right questions to ask that are beneficial, not triggering, that sort of thing, and make sure that the questions are beneficial for Claire, and vice versa.
Yeah, cool. Okay, right. Question. I'm going to do Claire first. You ladies first. Claire first. So, question, Claire. What is Ant's most annoying habit at work? Notice I said at work. You don't have to forget any other annoying habits. What is his most annoying habit? And I'll come to you in a second. Then you get the chance. So
easy. Claire. His loud booming voice on a Zoom call. So we share an office, and I shared a bedroom with my sister growing up, right? And we used to squabble to the point where my mum drew a line down the middle of the room so we could have half each. And sometimes I think we need to do that in the office, because honestly, I sit here with these noise cancelling headphones on when he's on a Zoom call, and it's still, I can't hear myself think. It's so loud and it's so annoying, and I have to send him away, honestly.
Okay, so same question to you. What's Claire's most annoying habit? Apart from she sends you away all the time.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Actually, it's one of the most annoying habits, but it's also one of the things I love about it the most, I guess, is that sometimes, especially on a day where it's Claire's day off, and I come into the office, I'll come in, and I might be out of the office all week, and I'll come in, and basically the office is just a bit of a mess. Like all the stuff's everywhere. And I know what it means. It doesn't mean sort of like, I haven't had time to clean it up. It means sort it out for me. Go and take the bins out. I know exactly what it means when I come into the office like that. But yeah.
In my defence, I have eczema on my hands and I can't wash up.
Yeah.
How handy is that, really, Claire?
It's true, though. I'll have my hands up to that. Who's got time to tidy up?
Yeah. It's actually another one actually is
you only got one.
No.
If there's more, please keep going. It's more than one.
It's all about the concept of flow, I guess. When you're in the middle of something, you're trying to create something, and you can't be interrupted. And Claire's very, very. She knows what she wants. I think sometimes she'll say, "Right, I need some help with this." It's like, "Right, drop everything, off I go, sort it out," sort of thing. So sometimes I do get interrupted when I'm trying to get things done. But again, it's what I love about her as well.
Say no.
Yeah, that happens to me. Or when somebody's on the computer bashing about on the keys and making a lot of noise, and I'm trying to concentrate on something and saying, this is not working. I'm thinking, do I ask what's the problem is? And then eventually I ask, what's wrong? This isn't working. Have you done so and so? No. Well, have you tried doing that? no. And then I'll say, well, look, I'll just show you. And then I come, and in a few seconds, it's sorted after we've spent 20 minutes complaining about something's not right. I'm thinking, completely broke me off what I'm doing, of course. I lose my track, and then So I've got that T-shirt there, and I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I don't mind really, but yeah, it's
shared goals, shared vision.
Shared goals,
yeah. So what tip or advice would you give someone who is thinking of going into business with a partner?
Take the time to communicate. So one of the best things that we've introduced is monthly strategy walks together, where we go out just on foot, just somewhere beautiful within school hours. So we've got a 6-hour window, and just talk it out. And that's when we've had some of the best breakthroughs and the best epiphanies and the best download of ideas, isn't it? And we just reconnect and get back on the same page and kind of process and get anything out that's been niggling at us. And it just reminds us of why we're on this crazy adventure.
Yeah. I think you do have some of the best talks when you're walking, possibly because you've not got that eye contact. You're not sat face to face with somebody, are you? And you kind of a bit more. You can say things a bit more freely and not feel quite as
intimidated.
Intimidated. Yes. Yeah.
It gives you time, doesn't it? In a room and sat together, and you've got like 10 minutes to have a quick chat. And you feel like you have to be responding straight away and that sort of thing. Whereas you've got more time, you can just let things hang. In the silence, you can use the silence. You don't have to be scared of no one talking. You can just let people think and that sort of thing as well. So it's quite useful.
And if you could turn the clock back, you said about 18 months you've been working together as a. Oh, did I get
2017 we started working together, didn't we?
Right. Yeah. So if you could turn the clock back to 2017, 2 questions. Would you do it all again? And if your answer to that is yes, would you do anything differently?
Oh, Annie, you go first on this one.
Would I still do it? Absolutely. It took me a long time to get out of the mindset of the 9 to 5. And to be honest, I don't think there's much we could have done to accelerate that. I think you just need time to adjust to it a little bit, really.
Yeah.
But absolutely, I think now I'm out of it. I think I said before, I was kind of ambivalent to go into business at the time, whereas now I'm like, this is absolutely brilliant. I really love the ability to build something that's mine.
You've got the bug, haven't you?
Yeah, but I didn't have it at the time. So I wouldn't go back, and I think it was the right time to do it. Anything differently, I think I'm sure Claire will share this. It's tough because actually we learned a lot of lessons through a Dessay search and doing the recruitment side of things. We learned what we didn't want, and I think we couldn't have learned those lessons having not gone through it.
Yeah.
Knowing what we know now, then obviously we probably followed our passions earlier, but I think we needed to learn that lesson first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think absolutely we made the decision to work together based on our shared values and vision, and yeah, absolutely, we'd probably do things differently, but I'm sure most people would in business with hindsight.
Yeah,
you've got to learn these lessons, haven't you? And every lesson is a gift, and you don't repeat them, and you learn from it, and you go bigger and better next time. And we're still here, we're still fighting. Year 7 of being in business, and I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah,
that's a good achievement, isn't it? Especially over the last couple of years as well, because a lot of businesses have fallen by the wayside. But having said that, a lot have pivoted as well and made something of it. So it just shows that there's pluses and negatives in lots of things, isn't there? Really, which is
and I'm hiding the grey hairs and wrinkles that I've got from there.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's been lovely talking to you both, and thank you for joining us today. We just need to ask how people can get in touch with you if they want to get in touch with you.
Yeah, what's the best way to get in touch with you if they want to use your services?
So best place, I'm hang out most on LinkedIn, so that's just Claire Ackers on there. All my stuff's on my LinkedIn, so I'd love people to connect me on there.
Okay. And how about you, Anne? How can people get in touch with you?
Again, it's probably best on LinkedIn. I'm on there on most days. So it's Anthony Ackers on LinkedIn, or search for the company Mountain Boardroom, and hopefully that'll give you a list of the things I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyone who's interested in a bit of just wants to talk to really in the outdoors. I do one-to-one work, I do group work, but I also run events as well, networking and that sort of thing. So have a look on LinkedIn. Also, I'm on Eventbrite as well, if you want to look on there.
Well, I'll put all these links in the show notes anyway. So if anyone is listening and missed that, we'll make sure they can get it back. Just look at the show notes.
If anyone's listening.
No, I didn't mean if. Oh God, I said that one.
Of course they'll be listening.
I meant, if anyone didn't hear what was said, I didn't mean that. I'll edit this bit if I remember.
They will be listening.
Yeah, of course. To all our thousands of listeners out there is what I meant to say. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, guys. It's been great talking to you, and thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah,
You're
thanks, guys.
welcome.
Really appreciate it.
Good.
Take care.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
So, Tracy, what's our knowledge for this week?
Well, this week we've got one called Speechify, and basically it will turn text into speech so that you can power through any documents or articles or PDFs or emails or anything you want to read by listening, and it just converts the text into speech.
Oh, sounds good.
Yeah, it is.
We'll also put the details in the show notes as well.
Yeah, try it and see what you think.
Yeah, let us know. We're almost at the end of this week's show, and just as a reminder, before we go, don't forget to book your place at one of our online networking events where you can meet some great business owners and build those business relationships. The best business comes from the best relationships. The link is in the show notes. We'd also like to mention our books, which are available on Amazon. How to Improve Your Business Networking Skills, 52 Tips to Help You with Your Networking. We also have our Notably Networking One-to-One Networking Notebook, a place to keep all your notes from those follow-up one-to-ones. And last but not least, our 90 Days to Your Success Journal, where you can plan, set and plot the actions you will take to achieve your goals.
Thank you so much for joining us this week on In Business Talks 2. We hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, all that we ask is that you simply tell a friend about the show, and please follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. We'd really appreciate it. Until next time, this is Ian and Tracy, and together
we are in business.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.